Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for being here. This is Mundo Maldini, your channel. I just finished commenting on the match on Cope. Real Madrid is the champion of the Intercontinental Cup, as stated in the thumbnail once again, kings of the world. Real Madrid 3-0 against Pachuca, that's true. And it's clear that the Mexican Pachuca isn't exactly the best opponent Real Madrid has faced in the Intercontinental Cups, that's true. But that doesn't take away from the merit of Real Madrid winning against a team that made it to the final. A team that qualified for the final after eliminating Botafogo, the Copa Libertadores champion, and Al Ahly, the African Champions League champion. So we can't take away any credit from Real Madrid. Friends of Mundo Maldini, it was a pretty comfortable match. I want to comment on a lot of things about the match, but here you have the picture of Luka Modric lifting this Intercontinental Cup. Another title for Luka Modric is just incredible. One more for Real Madrid, obviously. Once again, kings of the world, as I've mentioned, I insist, in the thumbnail. First of all, we're going to keep talking about the match, but you know you have the Despejados show on Mondays with Alexis, Mr. Chip, Sarah Jimenez, and me, the three of us on Mondays at 10. And we do that show thanks to our friends at Fivers. Fivers is exactly what we football fans needed. It's a social network for football lovers. I, of course, have Miusand. I have my account on Fivers. You can see it. I post photos, analyses, and so on. I invite you to do it. I'll leave the link in the video description so you can join the social network and create your account on Fivers, because it's growing more and more. There are teams, there are a lot of really interesting people. On Fivers, which is the social network we football fans needed, friends of Mundo Maldini, that's how it is. And we football fans also need players, for example, like Luka Modric, like Kylian Mbappé, and coaches like Carlo Ancelotti. I want to talk about a lot of things from the match. The first thing we're going to do is look at the starting 11 of both teams. Because, well, there was a little surprise. In the Pachuca team, the Tuzos from Pachuca. These are the 11. Courtois in goal for Real Madrid with Lucas Vázquez and Fran Garcia on the wings. Tchouaméni, Rudiger, Camavinga, Valverde, double pivot with Jude Bellingham. That has been the setup. Jude Bellingham up front, Vinicius on the left, Mbappé in the middle, and Rodrygo on the right. Tomorrow you'll have the match ratings, of course. Moreno in goal for Pachuca with Luis Rodriguez, Barreto, Micolta, and Brian Gonzalez. Barreto was able to recover for the match. Montiel, who is the best player on this team, at least a 19-year-old kid, right-footed, who plays really well. We've seen that. Pedraza in the double pivot with Diosa, the Colombian, who has been the surprise. Bautista, sometimes playing inside, and Drizzy on the left. Alex from Sevilla is a player who has tried to dribble, but honestly, he hasn't been able to do much. Salomon Rondon had the only chance that I think was somewhat clear for Pachuca, which was a high shot that went over the crossbar, a shot that could have been something. But by then, the match was completely decided. But still, it could have at least been a consolation goal for a Pachuca team that fundamentally, and the Real Madrid Giants took advantage of that. Here we have the first goal from Kylian Mbappé after a great play by Vinicius. Madrid has taken advantage, among other things, of course, their huge technical superiority, but they've also taken advantage of the fact that Pachuca is a pretty soft team, a team that doesn't have defensive midfielders, players like not so much Pedraza, but especially Montiel, players who are good with the ball, which makes Madrid play really comfortably. I have to say that in the first few minutes, Ancelotti looked quite upset because Madrid, I have to say, came out sleepy on the field for the first 15 minutes. Madrid started playing around the 15th or 20th minute, and it's true that Pachuca hasn't created any danger, but they've been able to manage the ball in the attacking third. They've been comfortable. When a team is as superior as Real Madrid is to Pachuca, superior in technique, even physically in many players, if they can add speed and depth to their game, the opponent practically has nothing to do. And that's what Madrid has done starting from the 20th or 25th minute. If we saw how comfortably Jude Bellingham received the ball, how easily he was able to make those kinds of passes to launch Vinicius and Mbappé, logically the first goal came thanks to that huge superiority. It's a great play by Vinicius near the left side, the pass to Mbappé, who just has to tap it in. By the way, Mbappé needs these kinds of goals in finals. It is clear that Mbappé is not at his best at the moment at Real Madrid. I am not discovering anything. He is not at his best. But it is also true that in the two finals he has played, he has scored. The European Super Cup in Warsaw against Atalanta, and this Intercontinental final to give Real Madrid the world title against Pachuca. Here we have Idrissi. And honestly, for Pachuca, it was the match of their lives. And I think it was a pretty dignified defeat for them because the difference is even more than 3 goals, to be honest. Behind we see Lucas Vázquez, who was clearly fouled for a penalty, a very clear penalty that the referee rightly reviewed in VAR. The referee, by the way, has done very well because the goal scored by Rodrygo, here we have Rodrygo. It's true that Jude Bellingham was in a position that they had to review. He could interfere. Here we have it. Look closely. You can see very well how Jude Bellingham bends down. But I think the goalkeeper, who is protesting because, well, just in case it counts. But I believe that in the end, the goal is completely valid because I don't think he has any influence on the trajectory to distract the goalkeeper, Carlos Moreno, the goalkeeper for Pachuca. So, goal, a great goal from Rodrygo, who started playing on the right, which is clearly not his best position, but I really liked his performance. I think the best player has been Vinicius, and honestly, for Madrid, the match has been a walk in the park. As soon as Madrid got their act together, there was practically no match. Vinicius has been chosen. What a few days he's been having. For me, quite justly, I said that Vinicius deserved to win the Ballon d'Or. I said it, he didn't win it. Rodri won it. And obviously, as a consequence of that, I say that Vinicius deserved to win the best, and he did. I think he was the best player in the match today. He leaves with a penalty goal, but a goal, 1 assist, setting up a goal for Kylian Mbappé. I really like Jude Bellingham's game. I also like Jude Bellingham's game a lot, but I chose Vinicius, the man of the match, which I think is quite reasonable. Here we have this quartet that today made it easy for Madrid to overcome Pachuca, which consists of Vinicius, Bellingham, Mbappé, and Rodrygo. What a 4, obviously. We'll see if from now on, the next match is against Sevilla, Vinicius won't play. We'll see if Kylian Mbappé, after this goal, plays the whole match because he was coming back from a slight injury. And with the score at 2-0, Ancelotti logically took him off. Minutes for Luka Modric. A big round of applause from the stadium for Luka Modric, honestly, because it's a marvel to see how they treat him. The other day I said it at Anfield in Liverpool, how they treat Luka Modric wherever he goes. Honestly, it's a real spectacle, and I think he truly deserves it in his career. How they treat Luka Modric wherever he goes. The match, honestly, after the first goal, practically didn't exist. Madrid scored the second goal pretty early. In the second half, Pachuca hardly took any risks at all. They barely made any tackles. They were a rival that I think was aware of their inferiority. And if they could have scored when Madrid came out a bit sleepy, it could have been a different final. But I insist that all of this doesn't take away from the fact that Real Madrid's superiority doesn't diminish the merit of winning this match. In the end, to win this match, you have to be the champion of Europe, of course. Here we also have the trio, and Bellingham isn't here, but honestly, the three of them have done really well, especially Vinicius. Rodrygo has been great, and Kylian Mbappé has also played well. Although for me, the second best player for Madrid has been Jude Bellingham, because every time he received the ball, things happened. It's true that he played very comfortably, because he had a lot of space around him. He wasn't being marked closely, the team wasn't very aggressive, and he didn't have a defensive midfielder on him. He played very comfortably, but logically, if you let Bellingham play so comfortably, a lot of football comes out of that. And that's what happened today. It's been good. Here we have two fans, by the way, of Real Madrid, both wearing Bellingham's jersey, acknowledging Jude Bellingham's incredible level. Well, I'm not saying he strolled around the field because I think Madrid, along with Ancelotti's statement and his anger, makes sense. Madrid never wanted to underestimate Pachuca, considering they are a much weaker opponent. That's true. And this is for American football because in this case it's not South American, but for American football it's huge. These are the last 12 titles, 12 victories for the European country. Not always against South Americans because there have even been some finalists like Al Hilal against Real Madrid, for example, the Saudi team. It's that many times the American team hasn't even reached the final. In this case, yes, it could have been different. It could have been Al Ahly from Cairo, who almost eliminated Pachuca. But the truth is that the overwhelming dominance of European football is absolutely evident. Here we have him almost jumping, dancing on the field, gliding across the pitch like Jude Bellingham has done, who had some really good moments, really good. It wasn't a match where Madrid had to play brilliantly, but they were definitely superior and won the Intercontinental Cup with the confidence we expected and that we've clearly seen on the field. Real Madrid, champions of the Intercontinental Cup, another one for Real Madrid. I remember those matches against Vasco da Gama, in that one against Olympia, now this one, of course, and others that haven't been intercontinental as such, but have been Club World Cups, against Al Hilal, against San Lorenzo, etc., etc. There's no team more decorated in the history of football than Real Madrid. That's the reality. Madrid, I say it like this because it's true, is the king of the world right now, having won this Intercontinental Cup. But in the history of football, it's the biggest team. I think I've said it many times here on Mundo Maldini. I've said it on Movistar. I've said it on Cope. I say it regularly. I think it's hard. And I know there are many fans who aren't Real Madrid supporters, of course, and many who are, but it's very hard, very hard. Not to recognize that Real Madrid is the greatest team in the history of football. That's the real truth. And today he proved it again, friends of Mundo Maldini. So, congratulations to Real Madrid. Congratulations to the Madrid fans watching this channel, who are obviously many because it's a team with a lot of supporters. We have over 200,000 subscribers. And of course, we have many Madrid fans as well as fans from other teams. We're creating a channel for football fans. Real Madrid at the top of the world, friends of Mundo Maldini. A hug. Bye, 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 bye.